Hello, plant community. Thanks for tuning in to this channel. My name is Pam, and as you can see, you guys, we are back here outside again, up against my Hoya wall. It's some time for me to do some chores that I've been putting off, and this will also be my very first Q&A session where I gave you guys an opportunity to ask me a couple of questions, and so we're just going to do some outside chore activities and just chop it up and chat it up. And so, yeah, so I don't know how long this is going to be. So, but I do encourage you to either do some chores with me, or perhaps if you don't feel like it, you've had a stressful long day, I understand, sit back and relax. But also, you might want to grab your tasty beverage. You don't want to miss out on this one. Okay, guys, so this right here is my biggest chore. This Hoya, let's see if I can sit down. Maybe you guys can see me a little bit. Yeah. My Hoya, this is my Hoya Trubiana, you guys. And I need to put her, as you can see, she is extremely top heavy. Like, let me show you guys perspective. She's not on the floor quite yet, but she is pretty tall. She is at least 3 feet tall, and she is becoming too top heavy for her to be in this plastic pot. And as you can see, you guys, she has some roots, but I'm not repotting her because she's root bound or anything like that. I'm just more or less changing out the pot because she needs a heavier base. And I want to actually do this one first because she's my biggest plant and probably maybe my biggest challenge to repot, not sure. So I want to do this first, you guys, and then we can jump into the questions, because I think after I change out this mama's home, I'll be able to, oh, okay, sit down and we can chat. Okay, so that wasn't too bad at all. I'm not going to disturb her roots at all, you guys. I'm not going to do it at all, but I can feel that her leaves are very soft and pliable, so I definitely need to give her a drink. But let me just show you. She's looking good so far. And so for my Hoyas, you guys, I try my best. If I don't have to, I will not disturb her roots. I will more or less just backfill and call it a day. So I don't really have a shovel or anything. I usually use my hands, which is probably what I'm going to do, because I don't have well, I do have this little, sometimes I use my planters as a backfill. I kind of have what you call it, what is it? What is the baby shovel's name? I can't think of it, but I have one in my home. Honestly, I've been bought it years ago, you guys, and I never use it. For the most part, I use my hands. I feel like I can gauge stuff better with my hands, if that makes sense. This Hoya here is one of the Hoyas. As you can see, she's too big, of course, to go on the Hoya wall, but I do put her outside. And that's what I want to do. Again, this year, I'm actually going to put her outside, or leave her outside after I pot her up. I just wanted to stabilize her because, you guys, the storms that come through here is just unimaginable with the winds. And, you know, I live in Maryland, but usually I'm used to the hills on the outskirts of the state. Usually kind of like provides a buffer for storms. But here, but this particular area where I live at now, I'm telling you, I've said it, I believe, multiple times already on this channel, but it's like it has its own ecosystem, you guys. It's like absolutely unbelievable. So I have to definitely make sure she is stabilized. And I was trying to find a pot. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of this pot. but it was what I had on hand, so this is what this is her home. um, One thing I noticed too, y'all know those designer pots that have like the slits around the bottom or drainage on the sides of the pots. I wish I had an example to show you guys, but I don't, because I make it a habit of not having those kind of pots outside. Let's see. I don't have an example. But anyway, those kind of pots, you guys do not, I recommend not bringing your plants outside in them. That is where, I learned from trial and error, that is where ants will go, and you'll have a nasty ant infestation in your pot, and you don't want to do that. So I've learned the hard way, and so I definitely make sure I just use regular pots with one drainage hole. And even though we are outside, and I apologize for the noise, it's a lot of work going on the house next door to me. I use these even though the plant is outside. This is what we use to catch the drainage. But for me, when I put my plants outside, it also helps protect my plants from the ants. Not to mention, I spray the area where I have my ants at with a mint spray, I believe. It's pretty effective to keep ants away if you wanted to go with something a little bit more natural. So here she is, you guys. Let's see. I don't even know y'all can see, but you will see, I'm going to, probably at the end of the video, I will give her a drink. I made a mess on my pants, and I'm going to sit her right here. And so now we can kind of like come down and pot up my other plants and change their home. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing I want to tackle, you guys, is this Syngonium Cardi Road, you guys. I'm embarrassed to show you, but this is plant life, and that's what it is. Yeah, I kind of like, this is totally my fault. I straight neglected her. I put her in a corner in my house, you guys, and I forgot all about her. Hence why you see all these drying leaves. And I need to take her out of the substrate as well as this pot. And I'm going to place her in another area in my home where I'll be a little bit more mindful to water her. So let me just, let's see, pull up my questions here, and we can just get right into that. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for those of you who asked me some questions. You know, I love talking to y'all, and I love doing these planning chores. And sometimes I like to talk about things that maybe you might be interested in regards to questions and answers. So first question is, how many children do you have, and how do you manage the time to take care of your plants? Okay, so I actually have 2 children, but my children are adults. I'm not an empty nester, but they are grown. Oh man, she's tight in here. And in regards to managing the plants, you guys, wait a minute, come on. Like pulling the baby out. In regards to managing the plants, honestly, you guys, I feel like, you never know what you're able to do until you're put in a position where you have no choice, right? But right now, I can honestly say, I think that if my children were smaller, like if they were an adult status or, self-sufficient, if you will, and they relied on me, I don't know if I would be able to incorporate the time that I am doing with the plants. And maybe not with as many plants as I have, because at this point, you guys, I have probably over 250 plants in my home. I think it would have been more manageable for me if I had a smaller collection, if my children were small. But since they're not, I really don't find it hard to actually manage them at all, because it's something that I like to do. So I more or less I never schedule time with my plants, if that makes sense. Usually at this point, because I've been taking care of plants now for almost 5 years, I feel like I've gained some form of, oops. I have this mesh, you guys, to block the drainage hole, and the roots then made a home in it. So I got to try to pull it away without damaging the roots. That's going to be challenging. But what was I saying? I don't schedule anything to do, any time to do with my plants. Now, of course, on my off days, which usually is the weekends, I try to take a look around to see if anything is needed in regards to an immediate attention. But I really don't do a schedule. I go by actual looks. I could very well, I think I'm at, yep, God dang it, I lost the root. And I think I'm going to lose this root too, because like it's in the thing. It's in the mesh, you guys. It's deep in there. Yeah, so honestly, I probably do a chore, I would say, every day. Whether it's water one plant, providing it with a bamboo stake, inspecting them for plants, not plants, but pests. But I would say that check is probably 20 minutes a day, if that. I think now with the growing season, I probably will be a little bit more easier. So I just kind of just go with the flow. I just know, like, I don't do a schedule. Schedules don't work for me. I won't be able to stick with them because life be lifing sometimes. And so kind of just got to go with the flow. And yep, I tried my best, you guys. I tried my best to save this root, but I knew it wasn't going to happen, but it's okay. And I didn't even realize, okay, I didn't know that Syngoniums, I did not know, you probably can't see it on the camera, that Syngoniums produce sap. It's actual sap coming from the roots. I've never experienced that, but you live and you learn. So I'm just going to, okay, so in spite of me losing the roots in there, she has, what you can see, pretty good roots. Now I'm just going to have to, I feel bad because, this was one of my prize plants and I'm just treating her so badly. But I think I have faith in myself that I'll be able to bring her back. I hope I answered that question. I just manage it the best way that I can. I find time, you always going to find time with the things you love, right? No matter what it is. And I just find the time. I think that's the best answer I can give. Okay, my next one. When did you start collecting plants? I kind of briefly just talked about that, I guess, when I was rambling on. But honestly, I started getting serious about it, I say 5 years ago, but briefly started collecting plants. I started collecting plants towards the end of 2018, going into 2019, but I didn't really start getting serious or really, I guess, catching the bug or getting as addicted to it as I am now until 2020. And I really enjoy the hobby. I really do. It's very rewarding to me. I don't know. I've always had a love for plants, so it just made it easier. I hope I'll be able to bring her back. I think I will. And what I'm going to do, because again, there's nothing wrong with the soil that she was in, but I think also at the same time, sometimes I do things and I may not be thinking them thoroughly through. I don't know why I don't know what made me put it in this pot. I think it was because at the time I had just recently got this pot and I was just itching to put something in it. You know how when you get something new and you just can't wait to try it out? Patience is key, and I am trying to learn that each and every day, you guys. This is a beautiful planter, by the way, but this Syngonium had no business being in here. I needed to put her in a more of a moisture-loving pot. And so today, I'm going to put her in this one because it's glazed on the inside and she'll be able to hold moisture more. Another thing that I am going to do is I'm going to probably add more of this soil because the soil that I gave her was a little bit too daggone airy. I don't know why. It's full of cocoa chips and perlite. It's very airy. And so it would not have been best for her. But what I am going to do, because this pot is a little bit big now, granted her roots do look pretty healthy and robust. You still don't want to take that for granted. I'm going to, what happened to where did I? Okay. What I'm going to do is I don't need all of this. I'm going to try to cut this in half or cut a piece just to cover the drainage hole. I usually use these mesh pieces that I brought off of Amazon. And also use my already used, what do you call it, dryer sheets as covers. If you want to do that, that's pretty the best way without spending any extra money. I would probably go that route. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put a little bit of the chunky mix down at the bottom because this pot is a little big. And I'm doing that to, in my mind, in theory, to minimize, to control the moisture, so to speak, because they love moisture, but you know, they don't want wet. Yeah, this thing, oh man, she looks, she's seen better days. This girl's seen better days. I think she'll bounce back. I feel like I can see the future, you guys, that in maybe like 2 months time, I'm either going to come to you. I'm going to come to you and say, you know what? She said that she was going to survive, and she did just that. I hope that's the case. Or I'll come to you 2 months later from now and say, you know what, y'all? The darn thing then died. So, I don't know. Time will tell. I'm going to see. But I'm going to put her in a spot. I'm going to put her with the rest of my Syngoniums. That way, well, in an area where I look at my Syngoniums. That way I can keep an eye on her because she just, yeah, I didn't water her at all for I don't know how long, as y'all can see. And that's why all her leaves have dried out like that. And I'm so sorry, Cardi. I did not mean to do it. And she will perk up too, and that's why she's also leaning like this, you guys. She looks really sad, but when I give her a drink, I think in maybe a day or two, she'll probably perk right on up. So, yeah. And she's getting this fresh soil, even though the soil she was in, it's not fresh. I'm actually going to use it. Matter of fact, it's so crazy. I think all of the little things I'm doing here right now don't really need that much, or they don't need change of soil like that. Was I meant to put this in here? Or the other? No, I was meant to put this in here. Okay. Yeah, so like, she looking sad, but she's going to perk up and she's going to be like, hey, y'all, I'm back. I need to cut this next leaf. My next question. Do you have any planty friends outside of YouTube? Honestly, I would say planty friends. I don't really know what the definition of a planty friend would be. I would say maybe planty associates. You know, someone that we talk about plants, but friends in regards to like hanging out and things like that, I wouldn't say that. I do have some planty associates, people that will ask questions about how to take care of plants, what plants they should get, things like that. So, you know, for the most part, I'm kind of a homebody. So yeah, I would say yeah, planty associates. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave her be, and I was gonna put her in the sun, but right now I'll just put her right here. Matter of fact, no, I just seen another leaf that needs to be trimmed off. Yeah, she is. Oh, it's one thing when your plants are not doing well and you've done all that you can, but it's another when they're not doing well because of something you totally did not do. It just makes me look like not a good plant parent. But hey, I can't win them all. Let me sit her down. Oh, another thing too. Probably more than likely by the time you guys see this video, Mother's Day would have passed. So I really hope that all these mothers, as well as motherly figures, because you don't have to give birth to a child to not be a mother, in my personal opinion. So I just want to say I hope everyone had a beautiful experience with friends, family, loved ones, or whatever you did. And I hope your day was bright and put a smile on your face, and just the sun just opened up and shined on you, and to let you know how important you are in someone else's life. Okay, the next one I'm going to do, it's going to be this one. Wait a minute. Okay, let's see. Next one was, do I have kids? I just answered that. I have two. Are you a stay-at-home mom? Child, I wish I was. No, I have a regular 9 to 5, which some days can be a little bit challenging than others. No, I have a regular 9 to 5. I would love to, I mean, and not necessarily stay at home mom, but I would just love to be able to stay home and do the things I love. Well, it's not even really about necessarily staying at home, right? I think it's more for me just being able to spend the most of my time doing the things that you love. Because I always say, and you've probably heard this saying as well, if you work doing the things that you love, you'll never work again a day in your life. And I do believe that because there's so much joy into doing the things that you like. This right here is my, what's this, anthurium? Uh, Clarinervium? Is that it? It's not the crystallinum. No, this is the Clarinervium. This, I have 2 of them. This is the one I told y'all that I was giving to my friend that I never got around to doing it. Well, not that I never got around to doing it. It's just that I was kind of waiting for the weather to break. And so now the weather is beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take her out of this pot. I'm going to give it to my friend, and I'm going to put her in this self-watering pot. I think that would be, I guess, helpful for her to maintain the moisture with this girly. I'm trying to, I took some yarn pieces and used it to hold her up. This probably was not a good idea. Well, I did it because I didn't have any twine. And so let's see. I don't really need to repot or change the substrate or anything like that. I just need to transport her or bring her up out of the substrate and just put her in this one. So let's see. Let me get to the next question. Let's see. Are you open to trades or swaps? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. My mighty planty friend. I am. If it's something that is different, if I can provide somebody with a different plant to add in their collection and vice versa, then yes, definitely I would be. I haven't really been like searching. I need to, you guys. But again, I'm only one person. I have so much on my plate. And, the bulk of my time is my job during the week and other things. And you know that I am a caregiver as well. So what comes with that is like a lot of responsibilities with that, I guess. Or you're responsible for more things, if that makes sense. My time is just limited. But I'm open to, oh, wow, look at these roots. Wow, she's really did it. Okay, so my friend may have to repot her in no time. But yeah, I'm definitely open to swaps and trades. I've always been wanting to kind of like, search and see if anybody in the area is doing anything like that so I can be a little bit more sociable. But of course, again, you guys, I haven't had the time. But yes, I am open to that. I'm going to cut this off. I was going to try to see if I could do pollination, and I don't know, maybe I still can. I'm going to cut this off, and what I'll try to do, if I don't forget, is see if I can at least get the pollen off of it. I don't think my friend, she wouldn't benefit from this. She's like a beginner. I'm trying to turn her into me. It's a slow process, but I believe I am winning her over. I'm winning her over. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I think it was one leaf did I want to cut a leaf? It was this leaf right here, and that's why. This leaf going out, so I will cut her anyway. There's no need to really keep her on there. And she's already growing this leaf right here. It's funny, you guys, I have another one, the one that I'm keeping, and they are pretty much growing at the same rate at the same time. My plant also has a new heart-shaped leaf emerging as well. Let me put a little bit more on top. Now this is an airy mix here, but I feel like it's a perfect balance for this particular plant. I don't feel that she requires a whole lot of water. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think, well, I take it back. I think she's a little bit more forgiving in regards to drying out. I don't know. Is that y'all experience for those of you who have this plant? You try to put the stick right here and maybe hold her up like this. Next question. What other crafty things am I into? You know, guys, I'm into a lot. I'm into things where I can use my hands. Y'all know, well, some of y'all know, one of the things that I love to do is crochet. That's something that I've learned ever since I was probably 10 years old. My mom, she used to do it, and I was just so fascinated by it at the time. And I asked if she could show me, and I'm so glad that she did. But I put it down when my kids were smaller, and then I had picked it back up. And then honestly, you guys, after when the pandemic had hit, or after the pandemic, and stuff was starting to go back to normal, the price of the skeins of yarns, boy, just really went up. And so it kind of fell off again a little bit in regards to crocheting, but I'm quite sure that I will pick it back up. I would love to get back into, I haven't done this in eons, and I mean a long time, years, probably before I even had children, but I enjoy making pottery. Um, so yeah, I might I might consider seeing if there's a class I can actually go to. I um, I think that would be very rewarding for me. Um, yeah, so I really want to get into that. But you know what? I'm gonna show you guys something that I crocheted um, to get y'all thoughts. I did this um, months ago, but I want to share it with you. Let me wash my hands and then I'll show y'all. Okay, guys, are y'all ready for me to show y'all? This is something that I crocheted, and I'm really proud of it, but I want to share it with y'all. Check it out. Can y'all believe I, I made this, you guys? I am really proud of myself with this because there was no pattern, no nothing. I just did it off of a picture, a picture of Big Bird. Yeah, Big Bird. I did a picture, and I just got to work, and I mean, I don't know. I think it's cute. Let me know if y'all think it's funny, or I don't know. Did I capture Big Bird as much as possible? The only thing that I wish I would have done, you guys, is probably if I brushed this. It's too late for me to try to do it now. I think if I brushed this, it would have made it a little bit more like bird feather like. But since I did these puff balls, um, I don't know. I still think I captured what I wanted to do, but I love it. I think I did a good job. It took me about a few days to do this, but um, his little hands. I don't know. Pat on the back. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Now back to the plants. Okay, so I did finish this, and I'm going to. This is one of the ones that I got from Tree Leaf. I'm gonna write my name on it later and push it down. Let's see. Let's see. I didn't want to push it too deep. I'm just trying to push it right where the coating was for the wood piece. And I mean, she can rearrange it however she wants, but I mean, if I receive this as a gift, I guess I would feel loved, right? And you know what I'm gonna do is let me adjust this a little bit. I don't know. Should I put it like this? I don't know. Sometimes I overthink stuff. Okay, it's controlled it a little bit. So that way you can see a heart on this side and two hearts. Two hearts on this side as well as two hearts on that side. I think that's pretty cool. Um, yeah. And she very well may need a drink too. And I might want to double check, even though I try my best to be on my pre-pest management. Let me put her down. I need to, oh, okay. The next one I'm going to do real quick, you guys, is I want to, this is my climbing aloe. She's not root bound by any means. She does have roots growing. I don't know if y'all can see that. And she was in here. Man, what's going on outside? And I was going to put her in this old Proven Winters pot. It's like a 4-inch. This is a 3-inch. I just want to put her in here a little bit, give her a little bit more room. Okay, where did we leave off at? Oh, when did you start loving collecting plants? And was there an external situation in your life that caused you to start? So if you've been on this channel, I guess for the beginning, some of you may have heard the story or what really sparked it off. It was a tragic situation that kind of turned into a beautiful situation, or turned a tragic situation into a beautiful situation. I've always had a love of plants, hands down. And because I did not know about caring for them and things like that, and then life got in the way, I never was able to really dig deep into learning about the plants, caring for plants and things like that. You have children, you're married, responsibilities, and the time gets away. So I lost, ooh, look at these roots. Whoa, these are nice roots. Y'all see that? Um, Climbing aloe, and she needs a drink too. You can tell because her leaves are so close together. Now, once I give her a drink, she will open up those leaves a little bit better. And this is probably the reason why I've been watering her a lot. I noticed that I've been having to give her a lot of water than normal. And that's probably why she's not root bound, but these roots are big. So more or less, my sibling passed away, and a few years back like in 2018, and a group of friends had gave me like this beautiful floral arrangement, those arrangements that have like different types of plants. And I left it in the pot for a few months. You go through the grieving process and all of that, and I saw that it was different plants. I said, you know what, let me separate them and divide them up and see if I can grow. And it just sparked something in me, and that's when I started more or less trying to learn about plants. And also I started collecting plants, but nowhere near as aggressively as I'm doing now. But I was collecting plants. And so when I actually decided to do this channel, I want to say my very first episode of this channel, because I really wouldn't have done it if all those things didn't align. I dedicated my very first show to my brother. And so, as painful as that was for me, I figured out a way to make it make sense. I figured out a way to make it bearable. I figured out a way to deal with it. And I love it. So it's good. It gives me joy in my heart knowing that a tragic situation such as my brother's sparked all of this, sparked me talking to y'all, sparked me growing in my knowledge of plants, sparked more curiosity about plants, sparked me growing as a person. So yeah, that's exactly kind of like what happened. Okay, so it's always good, you guys, proven winners or not, it's always good to keep your plastic pots. They come in handy. You never know when you're going to need them. And this was like the perfect fit for her. More than likely with this growing season, I may have to swipe her out again. I'm not even sure, you guys, but okay, I'm not going to have this leca ball in it. I'm not even sure, but we'll figure it out. And again, like I said, more than likely at the end of this video, when I'm finished chitting and chatting with y'all, I'm going to give them all a drink because they deserve to have a drink. I still think she looks good in this pot. So, yeah. My next one, getting rid of, okay. I wonder, should I use this one? Decisions. What am I doing now? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll figure it out. Okay, my next one that I'm going to pot up is just this snake plant. I've had her for a while and I've just popped her in here. And where did I get this from? I don't even know. Is it on here? It doesn't even have the name. I don't know. I don't know if I got this from Ace or not. I probably did, but I can't remember. And I don't know if I paid. It says $4.98 on here, but I swear I feel like I paid even less, but I'm not sure. So I'm more or less just going to put it in this cute little planter right here, which is not going to take nothing because I'm not going to do anything with the roots. I'm just plopping it in there because I want it to be, oh man. Okay. Next. What is your favorite plant genus? You guys, that is tricky. Now, y'all probably would say Hoyas, and you probably would be right. Okay, again, you see how this is very healthy. I'm not disturbing it. I don't think I should. Just putting her in here and backfilling her. You probably would think it was Hoyas. I honestly would say Hoyas is actually, believe it or not, would be like my number 2 plant genus. My number 1 would actually be philodendrons, but even though you would think not. And the reason why I think I talk more about Hoyas and I buy more Hoyas is because of the space that they save. Philodendrons are very beautiful. Some of them are trickier to grow than others, but they are very beautiful plants, but they are very vigorous growers and they take up a lot of space. And I think I have about a good over 20 different kind of philodendrons in my home. I want to say almost 30 different genus. Would y'all like to see? I know I think I did show y'all my philodendron collection. I don't know if y'all would be interested in seeing like an updated, video regarding my philodendron collection, and maybe I can do that. I think that would be cool, me actually ranking them. But I would say philodendrons first and then Hoyas. But again, because of the space and I'm such a vivid and avid collector, philodendrons is kind of like taking a back seat. But I do appreciate them growing. I think one of the things too in regards to like this plant genuses, period, depending on philodendrons or maybe another genus, you can get like after a while to me they start looking alike or looking the same. And I guess somebody could say the same thing about Hoyas too. But I with Hoyas I think I just find the uniqueness in all of them. And you can do that in philodendrons too. I guess I got to just make the time. But yeah, I would say philodendrons is one of my favorite genus. It's really hard for me to answer that. I honestly want to group philodendrons and Hoyas together. So let me be honest and be fair to that. I feel strong and confident in saying that. So philodendrons and Hoyas probably would be my top plant genus. Although I am starting to really get a fondness for other plants as well. What plant medium do you prefer and why? That is a very good question, but I think it's also a tricky question because I think if you asked me that question probably like 4 years ago, in the very beginning of me learning about plants, I probably would have gave you one answer, and I would have said an airy mix. But now that I have a vast variety of plants and I have a little bit more understanding as far as their need requirements when it comes to watering, some that wants to air out completely, dry out completely, some that don't want to dry out, some that wants to maintain moisture at all times. It's really a tricky thing. I think for me, it just really depends on the plant that I'm growing. Although I can say, okay, what I'm going to do real quick. I think, okay, this right here is what I really want to do. I don't know if I want to put it in this pot. What are you doing, Pam? Oh, these sing. I'm gonna get back to the thought. Don't worry. I do that from time to time. These right here is my Monstera Andersonii. These was the top cut from my tall mother plant. I initially was going to cut it, you guys, root it, and put them back into the pot, but it's so full down the bottom of the mother pot. And my goal is to get it to grow up to the top of the moss that I have it in, till I feel like I need to just, I don't know, I'm just going to pot them by themselves. And I'm thinking, since they do like to be dried out, that I might put her in this. I am. I'm going to do it because sometimes I overthink stuff all the time. Let me get back to your question, though. Just want to remember what it was. Okay. Oh, although, you guys, I'm finding myself really getting into, of course, I'm starting to do the semi-hydroponics, but I'm really starting to love doing maybe not the substrate type, but the style of potting up, and that's just potting it in no drainage. No drainage with some leca at halfway of the pot, and then following with your regular potting soil, which would be a airy soil. For me, is like my go-to with some of my plants. I've done it with a few of my Hoyas, and they are loving it. So I'm really loving that type of substrate action right now, I would say. That would be like my favorite. I am getting more into pond. Pond is very beneficial. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But pond can also be pricey. And I would use pond mainly just for like my plants that I want to ensure moisture and I don't have to worry about. So right now, like probably what's growing in like my pond solution would be mainly my alocasias. Trying to think anything else. I do have a couple of Hoyas, but the Hoyas that I do have growing are more or less like maybe propagation cuttings. And I want to say that's pretty much it. So right now I would say no drainage with my regular soil mix. I hope that answered your question. Do I own any carnivorous plants? No, I do not. Uh, Never really, honestly, never gave it any thought about. I'm not drawn to them yet, and I'm in the habit of saying yet because I don't want to say oh no, never, because never say never. I've heard a lot of people say that they weren't Hoya heads before, but now they understand. Some people may not be into philodendrons, but they get it. Although I gotta say, I think a lot of you guys are very consistent with not liking crotons, and I just don't know why y'all don't like them, because you really can grow them in your home. You can grow them in your home. You have to just be up on your pre-pest management of the plant. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this off. I don't want any dead debris. We'll just see where she goes. I'm not putting her on anything, you guys. I'm just going to let her grow up. If anything, I don't know. I have to see. I might do like a bamboo stake, but I'm just leaving her like this. I'm not getting kind of tired of putting everything on. Can't put everything up on poles. Just can't do it. I can't do it, you guys. So that one goes there. Okay, one of the things I've been dying to do, matter of fact, not one of the things I've been dying to do, one of the things I'm going to do next. This right here, you guys, I didn't talk to y'all about it. I don't even think, and I didn't share with you about it at all either. This right here is a little baby desert rose. And by the way, you guys, y'all probably won't see it for a while. I just recently brought a bigger desert rose. Got it for an amazing deal. I couldn't say no. But anyway, this is what I got first. And I got this from Green Escapes. And y'all know that they are famous for these small plants. And so I didn't feel comfortable with the roots yet. So I put her in moss. I wanted to try to establish a good enough root system where I can actually put her in soil. And I think she has developed it. And I'm putting her in a very small pot with a mix, you guys. And I am going to keep my fingers crossed and hope that everything works out. And see, I wouldn't have even been, and I blame you guys for the love of the desert rose when y'all started sending me y'all photos of y'all beautiful plant, and I saw the beautiful flowers that they gave. I was like, oh my goodness. It was just, and I love the Cardex. So, okay, so this is what we're working with the roots. I'm going to go with it. I think it's okay. It didn't really, it didn't have a whole lot of roots, you guys. So I'm happy that I got what I have right here. So, and I'm seeing one root where it looks really, really strong. So I'm not going to put it in, I'm putting it in a very little pot like this, I think. I wonder, should I put it in this pot? This is where it gets a little tricky. I almost want to put it in this pot. Maybe I have to wait. And if I put it in this pot, I can just put it in here. Yeah, let me sit her right here. I'm going to get rid of this Cressia petulata first. And then I can just exchange pots. Yeah, so it's not to say that I won't get into the carnivorous plants. I just haven't, I guess, felt the love or the passion for them yet. And maybe one day I'll get there and maybe not. But for now, right now, I can say no. Okay, so this right here is my, I had to restart her, my Hoya Cressia pedalata splash. I had to start her over, and I'm glad I did. I kind of like saved her, and she's doing well because, one, guys, look at this leaf. She's it's giving me beautiful leaves, and I know it's hope because she gave me this. And I had to start her over. I had to reroot her and everything because it was just going haywire. I don't know what happened. But along the lines, I think I broke this leaf or something. Something happened, and I had to redo her again. And as you can see, her roots is coming out of the pot. And I just noticed today when I brought her out here for you guys, is she's growing a vine. So she is loving it. But I want to put her with the rest of them because there's no need for me to have this one single leaf with this plant. And since her root system is strong here, I'm just going to transfer her and make room for her in this pot. What has been an unexpected plant benefit for you? I I don't know why I felt like I couldn't talk as I tried to do surgery removing this plant. I guess I just didn't want anything to happen, but wow, guys, just take a look. It's pretty good. An unexpected benefit. Now, granted, plants give me joy. They give me joy. But I want to actually say, thinking about it, unexpected benefit, you guys, has actually been how much of an improvement on mental health. Um, when I work a 40-hour a week job, probably more. I don't know, give or take. I do other things, and as I stated before, life be really lifing sometimes, and it can just be a little bit more than you can bear at times, to be honest. And what I found is when I come in my sunroom, and I feel so blessed and grateful that I even have a space. When I come in there and I sit down at the end of the day, I don't do it every day, but at the end of the day, I go in there, I can really meditate for a second, and I'm looking at the scenery of all this beautiful foliage, different structures of plants, textures, colors. It's so serene. It gives me so much peace. It de-escalate the crazy, that goes on in your mind. It de-escalates any dark areas where you go at in your mind. It really does. And I knew that plants was going to bring me joy just caring for them, but I did not know how beneficial they are, how therapeutic they are for me. Like actually right now, talking to you guys and putting my hands in soil and just feeling the earth for what it is really it's therapeutic. So I think that was the most unexpected benefit that I had. And I really would not trade it for anything in the world. So if something was to happen and I had to get rid of all my plants, that would be a bummer, but I could not see me moving forward in my life without some plants, even if it was just 5 or 10. It doesn't have to be a vast amount like I have. It could just be 5 of the best plants that just sparks joy, put that sparkle in your eye and all of that. It's worth it. So yeah, the benefit, a healthy mind, a healthy mind. Okay, so I got it in here, and she is going to do it. She is going to show out. Now, this is cute. It has a little drainage, and she is coming back. I have my regular Crassia petiolata inside, and I was tempted on whether or not to bring her out, but because her leaf is kind of thin, I don't feel confident in doing that. So I'm going to leave her be. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Beautiful. So now, since I did that, you guys, I can put this desert rose because I felt like I don't, this is a new plant that I'm getting into, you guys. I'm not knowledgeable, so I don't know how fast her roots will grow. Although it took me 3 weeks to get these roots going right here. So I don't know how fast, but I don't want to root rot her. So I feel like I'd rather put her in this small one and I can just wait. I'd rather be on the safe side, and I'm going to give her some of this airy mixtus right here. Next question. So you have any silver sword plants that you can give me some tips on? I have the silver sword philodendron. Tip I can honestly give you really is probably don't propagate her. I had a beautiful one, beautiful big one, and I propagated her because she was too daggone big, you guys, and I chopped her up, and I divided her up. But when I chopped her up and actually I gave it some pieces away and some pieces I kept. The one I kept, her leaves are like a medium-sized leaf. It's nowhere near as big as what I originally had. And my propagations, you guys, and chops and things is giving me small leaves. So I don't know if it's a feeding issue or not. And I'm okay with it because I love the beautiful leaves. I just didn't want her to be as big as she was. So I'm okay with the size. But if you wanted to keep the size of her, don't propagate her. Don't chop her up. Leave her be. Leave her be. Of course, she's a philodendron. You want to just be mindful of your watering. You can usually tell, but not only the soil drying out, but you can also tell by the leaves. The leaves, philodendron leaves, as well as other plant leaves, they tend to get a little bit thinner when they need more water. So I would also say pay attention to the leaves and make sure you don't have her in any direct sun, and she should be happy and do fine. And if you do give her fertilizer, make sure it's a balanced one. Aw, this is pretty. I'm going to top dress her and put some of the beautiful top dressing on her. And then I'll sit her right here. I'll just put her in my little And yeah, that's gonna do it for her. I think I got about like one last chore. I brought this pot out here, you guys, and I know I wanted to do something with this. And I feel like I'm gonna remember when we are no longer speaking. But let's see. One last thing I wanted to do was these Hindu ropes. Give me a second, you guys. Man, this is a mess. Okay, so I think this might be the last thing that I want to do for right now today because it's getting late. Well, it's not that late, but I would like to start working on dinner. So, um, these are this is my Hoya compactor Hindu rope. What I have right here, this is rehab status right here. This is my baby regular green variety on this side that I kind of like had to save. Something was going on with it. I don't know what, but I really don't know what. And I made the necessary changes for her. She's growing nicely now. She's giving me those beautiful dark green leaves. And on the right or the left of you guys, I believe. I don't know. The right, yeah, the left of you is the variegated, outer variegated um, compactor. And she was also giving me some issues where I actually lost a stem. And this was the stem that I believe I was able to save. And so she's kind of opened up and she's coloring up. I want to actually put this one, combine these with this one. This one is a Hindu rope compactor variegated that I purchased when this one was declining, and I didn't know that I was going to be able to save her. I guess a lack of confidence on my end, but I came across this and I said, okay, it was a fair price, and I just went on and got it. And she's been doing very well with the growth, as you can see, very beautiful colors. And so now I just want to make sure that she's full. So I think I want to combine them together in this pot and just, you know, I'm trying to figure out ways to condense my collection as I'm growing because I'm constantly I'm constantly buying plants, but I'm getting rid of plants, but I'm constantly buying plants. And I don't know if this is what I call the curation process. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if there was any more questions. Quick remember. How does your family and friends feel about your hobby? They know I love my family and my friends. Know I love plants. Now I do try my best. You know, they don't really care. You know, they know that's just part of Pam, right? They respect it because, and they love the fact, well, my family for sure. I can say, I believe my friends do too, but I have more conversations regarding my plants, I think, with my family than I do with my friends, if that makes sense. But they both give me the same equal amount of respect, whether or not if they're interested in the hobby or not. If I get excited about a plant and I want to show them something, especially like my family, if I see a new growth, something crazy, or if a corm has broken, I got a new plant from my allocations, you know, I'm super excited. It puts that sparkle in my eye. And I just want to share with somebody. So I instantly share. And out of respect, you know, they could see the joy that it brings me. So it's not like, oh man, broke a leaf. It's not like you know, they're not supportive. They are definitely supportive. I definitely can say that. Okay, so I put them both in a very airy, chunky mix, and the roots have. That's why she's doing so good. You guys, what I'm learning actually, these cocoa chips for your Hoyas are miracle workers. I think, in my personal opinion, I think if you put the majority of it as cocoa chips and a little bit of soil, you'll get amazing results. At least that's just been my experience with some of your Hoyas. I don't want to say all yet, but man, definitely yes. Definitely yes. So what I'm going to try to do is break away some because, again, I'm putting them in this pot. I think they will benefit. I just want to put them together in this pot. I've been debating, going back and forth in my head on whether or not if I should do it. And I said, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. It must be done. It's getting done. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so I just want to free it of some of this soil before I can try to cram them together. I may have to do it with this one as well. Yeah, but for the most part, you guys, my friends and family, they are supportive, and they love anything that I love if they especially get to see the genuine joy that it brings on my face. So yeah, they'll listen to me. But I try my best to be mindful of the fact that they're not into this, so I don't want to overtalk their ear about it. I would love to talk it out with people who get it, or people who get why I love these plants. People such as yourself, because I guess you wouldn't be here if you didn't have the love too. Okay, so I'm just gonna. I'm not prying anything away. I'm seeing if I can shove it, because I'm not putting her in a bigger pot. I refuse to do it. I feel like for compactors, especially, this is my theory or thought. I don't have any scientific botanical background to back it up, but I feel like with compactors, because they are so slow in growing, this particular plant may benefit from having snugged roots. Um, if they feel tight in the pot, I feel like that they will grow more. That's just my personal opinion. Again, I have nothing to back that statement up whatsoever, um, other than my experience. I've had this variegated one for about a year. I've had her underneath my grow light, and she's just exploded in growth, you guys. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. The growth she's been giving me. And I mean, I don't know if it's because, I think it's because of these cocoa chips. Now I'm looking at what's going on. And it also has something to do with this pot being snugged. Now, I wouldn't say that is the case and true with all Hoyas. No, 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 I would not say that. But I'm at the put some soil back in here. But I feel like this plant benefits from a snugged pot. And if she don't, she'll let me know, because she'll start declining, won't she? But I'm going to pull this leaf off, because I'm going to cut it off because it's kind of a yellow leaf. Um, let's see. See if I got any other questions. I wish I could dip this in water and it would regrow, but I don't think that. I'm not even going to bother with that. It's just one leaf. Do you put sand in your potting mix for your cacti? No, I don't. I put a very airy, chunky mix. Now, I've read where it's supposed to be beneficial, but honestly, I'm not looking into that. And the reason why I probably won't is because, guys, I have pond, I have leca. I'm making my own substrate with using cocoa peat. Then I have cocoa chips. Then I have orchid bark. And, you know, I'm going to get to a point of slimming down some of my um, medium, because it gets ridiculous. It really does. It gets really ridiculous with what you're putting in your plants, because I feel like, depending on your environment, you probably can get away with using one substrate for all plants. But because I'm here with four seasons, I feel like that's not the case. Like, I have to do certain mixes with the way that I'm growing my plants. So, sand, though, I just don't want to add another ingredient to anything. So sand is very good, from what I could have read, that is very good for aeration. I just don't have any fact for my no background in it to back it up. Although, but no, I just make sure for my cacti, I just make sure that my substrate that I'm using is very airy. So for them, I try not to use, it depends. I try not to use any of my orchid barks and uh, what is this? My cocoa chips. I try not to use that for the cacti. For some reason, I'm using my cocoa husk, and I'm heavy with the my perlite. And maybe I might throw a little bit of pumice in there, but I try to be more mindful with my pumice, because pumice can be very pricey, and I'm using pumice now when I make my homemade pond mixture. So Yeah, I don't think I will get into the sand, honestly, you guys. I don't want to add another substrate to the list. You know, if it can get out of control, you really don't need this. Honestly, the stuff I'm probably using now, I probably don't need. And when I run out of these products, I'm really going to force myself to streamline what really works. Now, honestly, I don't want to get rid of these cocoa chips. I love these cocoa chips. I really do. I love them. They add a lot of aeration. So if I had to get rid of anything, like if I'm going to do my own chunky mix, it probably will be, I probably would get rid of the orchid bark. Mm, orchid bark for now, I would say. I can't really say pumice. Like I said, I'm so many benefits for pumice, and you can reuse these substrates. So that's definitely a win-win for anything that you can reuse. I do have charcoal that I have. Again, these things is what I already have. Will I continue to buy these things when I run out? Probably not. And when that day comes, because I do have a hefty stock, I don't know if when that day will come, but when that day comes, you guys, and I come down to the wire as far as what substrate I'm actually going to use and continuously use for my plants, I'll let you know. But for right now, it's definitely, like I said, the substrates that I'm using to make my pond and my airy mix that I make. I feel like I make two separate airy mixes. Um, Mixes for my tropicals and mixes for my Hoya. Three. I'm lying to you. I'm thinking three. Three. My cacti and succulent mixtures, my tropical plants like my philodendrons, um, my rubber trees, crotons, and things. And then I have certain mixes for my Hoyas, if that make any sense. Okay, I think she is snugged, bugged in the rug, but she absolutely looks better. What do you think? I think she does. I don't need to give her a watering. And I think it was one last question on here that I wanted to answer before we leave out of here. Oh, where do you find your planters? One of you asked me. I think maybe y'all was thinking about changing from terracotta, which I can definitely understand. I initially started out with terracotta in the beginning, and I have a lot of I have some terracotta planters in my walkable space, my little mini store I have in my home for my plants. But you can't use terracotta, I don't think, for every plant. I mean, you probably could depending on where you live, but I just found out that you can't. But anyway, I wherever sales are. So initially, I was getting a lot of planters from Rite Aid, believe it or not. When I had my my card, my wellness card, I could get like a bonus, and I usually wait until they drop down because those planters there was extremely expensive. In my personal opinion, I would wait until they got down to a 90% sale, and then it was and then I would use my card for even more savings. So I practically almost got like these planters for free, but I haven't been able to do that since the cargo ship thing here in Maryland, and for some reason, Rite Aid haven't been able to get their stock like they supposed to. I don't know, but anyway, I'm not there. Sometimes I go and I get planters from Ollie's. Ollie's is a cheap store that sells a plethora of items. I'm not quite sure how vast Ollie's is. I'm assuming they must be in multiple states. I don't know, but we have Ollie's. Um, I also find planters thrifting, which is very cool. You can really find a lot of cool things depending on your style. And also, the good part about thrifting for planters is it makes you think. It pushes your creativity juices as far as what you can do, what things you can turn into planters. So I really love that. I find really good finds there. And of course, I do check Michael's when they have that with that 60 to 70% off sale, because Michael's can be pretty pricey as well, but they have some very nice planters, and I just wait. until they get that 70% off, and then I'm there. You can also find some planters. Also, I also get planters from Michael. So it's not one spot. I go wherever the deals are, because again, this hobby can be expensive and you got to be creative to figure out ways to cut those corners so you can save those coins. So, yeah, I really like this, you guys. This is very beautiful. What do y'all think? I'm liking it. She's going to go right back underneath of the grow light in my home, and she will continue to grow. It's, they're both, all specimens have been well watered, so I'm not going to give them her a drink at all. Just going to let her focus on nestling in here. I'll probably give her a drink maybe in the next 3 days or so, because I'm quite sure that's when her leaves will start being able to really be pliable, and all will be well. So I think I feel accomplished. I've gotten a lot of things planted up and cut out and cleared out, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. And I hope that I motivated you guys to get off your patooties and actually do some chores, or maybe not get off your patooties. How about sit on your patooties, relax with a nice little cool drink? I don't know, whatever you prefer. I hope you did that. And I thank you so much for coming along. I really appreciated the questions, you guys. Thanks for all that actually asked. Hope this gives you a little bit more in-depth knowledge of Pam and what she's about. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so, you guys. Some of you guys are watching my channel, but for some reason or another, and I don't know why, y'all are not subscribing. Go ahead and do it. It's free. It's free and it will help me. And I appreciate the help that you give me. And I love thee. But anyway, you guys, keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do, and you love listening to planting things, definitely subscribe to this channel if you have not. And keep pushing those thumbs up, you guys. Really push them thumbs up. Pushing the thumbs up is telling YouTube somewhere in the universe that, hey, this person needs to see this video and that person needs to see it. And I'm working really hard trying to grow this channel with all the challenges that I've been having in the past, you guys, because honestly, you may have noticed I took a little dip in being able to put my videos up there. It's not intentional. It's just that right now I'm having some issues with technical issues that's just really requiring me to have to just get new computerized things. And me getting that is just going to take some time. So I hope you really like what I'm doing here, and that you like hanging out with me, and that you'll continue to hang out with me. I really like doing this, and I want to continue to do it. So just, bear with me as I go through these little bumps in the road, because I guess this is my season of where life is lifing. But anyway, enjoy your day wherever you are in the world. And until next time, guys, much love. Bye. Man, I'm so glad I did this outside, you guys. It's going to make it so easy to clean up, because I would be kind of pissed if I had to do this indoors. Too much dirt. See y'all later.